feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Say hello to everybody around you. Say hello to somebody. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right. Morning, David. No.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, we have 2 birthdays.
Yes, we do.
In our crew, we always give birthday crew. To Bob Gross and Mike Hadley. Let's sing happy birthday real quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob and Mike. Happy birthday to you. All right.
Yes. So I said to Michael this morning, I go, Michael, I said, well, you're 29, right? And he goes, yeah, that's right. He said, but my knees are 56. So I said, that can be changed though, right? Right. So I want to welcome everybody here this morning. How is everybody today? Yes. It's great to be in Palm Desert this time of year. Favorite time of the year. There's nobody on the roads. You can find a parking place everywhere. It is fabulous. And we welcome our love streamers. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us from all over. We're so blessed to have you here. So let us join together and say our vision and mission statement, please. We are a positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our vision is spiritual awakening and personal growth in a world that works for everyone. Our mission is to help individuals discover the spiritual tools and inner power that has the ability to transform lives and make the world a better place. Amen. So we don't have too many messages, but we do have a little surprise in a little bit. So where's Dale? Dale, would you please come up here?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you love flower power or what?
Yeah.
We got it going on. Are you coming to say, oh, you're just moving that way. Okay. Anyways, aw. Okay, so Michael Kukru and I have been co-teaching a class based on his book called Heartlight. We just want to remind you that this class is continuing and that each class is complete in and of itself, and we would love for you to join us this Thursday, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. over in the Om Room Costa Hall area. And this week is a great topic because we're going to talk about creating from the oneness, the one mind of spirit, rather than creating from our stuff, our junk. We want to create from a bigger place so that we can have a life that resonates with the spiritual qualities of our beingness. So come join us. It's a whole lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you there if you want.
There you are. Thank you. Hi, Heidi back here. We need some volunteers. Carol Davis is asking for volunteers for the youth church. She's going to have a meeting Sunday, August the 27th. We really would love to build our youth center, our youth church, but we need help over there. And so if you can give up 2 months a year, no, 2 hours a month, please join us over there. And it's really simple because Carol will always, if you're helping out, she will have the class. She just needs to help somebody go take the kids to the potty and, just help them with whatever project they're working on. So if it's something you're interested in, please go on the 27th at Costa Hall. Be a great way to be of sacred service. And please continue to bring in the backpacks and supplies for our children. You guys have been amazing with everything that you have been bringing. I'm telling you, the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission, when they pick up stuff every week, they're so excited to come here because we're so generous. You're all so generous. And we have our sponsor today is Amazon Smile, and so you have to watch this commercial. What you doing?
I'll just order some things we need from Amazon.
Are you ordering through the CSL website, or are you going directly through Amazon Smile?
Amazon Smile? What's that?
It's a great way to show our support to our Center for Spiritual Living right here in Palm Desert. You see, when we order from Amazon Smile or use the link on the CSL website, Amazon automatically contributes to the center 5% of every purchase we make.
That's great, Reverend Laura, but what about my Prime membership? I don't want to lose the benefits from this.
Steve, this is the next best part. You don't interfere with your Amazon Prime membership or any of the great benefits. It's like consciously giving unconsciously.
This is great, Reverend Laura, but what about my privacy? Does everybody see what I order?
Absolutely not. Your privacy is held in the strictest of confidence. In fact, Amazon has very high standards for privacy. All we know is we get 5% of your purchases.
This sounds great, Reverend Laura. Show me how it works.
It's easy. See here, Steve, that Amazon Smile button? Go ahead and you hit that. And once you've already logged in and filled out and chosen who you want, which is Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert, it will automatically take you to that page every time. So go ahead and hit that. And see, you're still in Prime, which you have your Prime, and you've already filled it out, and it says here, supporting Centers for Spiritual Living. And that's all there is to it. And every time you go into Amazon, you don't even have to think about it, but 5% of everything you order, that money will come to the center.
Is this something we could all do?
Definitely. It would be great if all your friends that you had on your email list and on Facebook did this.
Reverend Laura, I'm going to do this right now. What a great idea. Thanks.
And when I win my Oscar, I will recognize all of you and say thank you. I owe it all to the congregation.
And we'll be waiting with bated breath
Yes.
for that to happen.
Where are you? It's like the voice of God. Where did you come from? Oh, there you are. Okay. So anyway, I am going to turn this over to
To me.
Oh, Dr. Joe. Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
He's back.
So glad to be back. So we're going to introduce 4 of these beautiful college students. Come on out, guys. I had an idea, and I want to share it with you because it's kind of in its seed form, and I want to kind of get your feedback on this. We have such a great music program here, and one way that we can reach out into the community is to go to these guys all attend the local community college, the College of the Desert. And what I'd like to see us do is offer internships, so like a 9-month internship while they're in school. So they perform here on Sundays. They'll be part of our group here on Sundays. They'll do choir work, and then they'll do individual work as well. And they'll get credit because they'll become an intern, because Scott here works for the college too, and he's going to help us so that we can create an internship program for these guys as well. So they get an internship. We'll give them a little stipend every month. They'll have to go to rehearsal and do everything necessary to make it successful. But then we'll also have the opportunity to hear these 4 additional beautiful voices. And they can live stream to their friends, and they can, get the recordings of this and use it for your future to send things out to people. Exactly. That's good, Jake. That was a good effect. I like that. So at some point in time, we will be asking of whether or not we can get involved in that, and that's going to require us to step up a little bit more and actually financially support a different kind of music program than we've done in the past. Different than your financial contributions on Sunday, something that's going to do some outreach into the community and bring the community in, and it also helps that they're the 4 youngest things in the room. So, it's the truth. So, I want to welcome each, Jerry Lynn's going to introduce them, and I want to welcome them. They're doing a great job. Let's welcome our music program, everybody.
Yay, thank you. Yeah, I have to say, these 4 precious people showed up at rehearsal the other day. They were ready, they were firing off and ready to go. They did a great job, and accompanied by our usual wonderful singers over here, Mike and Gina. So we had a blast, and we're really looking forward to doing this for you. It's going to be fun. So here's a song called Always There. Here we go. Once again, Rebecca Rodriguez, Alicia Bates, Anthony Martinez, and Megan Van Dyke. Go ahead and give them a hand now. God is always there. Such a good feeling, that's where I wanna be. Locked in your prison, a total ecstasy, yeah, yeah. Next to me and so together, yeah, yeah. Next to you, there is nothing better.
Always there to please you, always there when I need you, always there to love you, always there thinking of you.
And if you wonder, I know that you can have it too, yeah, yeah. There's nothing better than being here with you, yeah. Spirit's love is a special chance, yeah. In my heart there is nothing better. I'm always there to need you, always there. When I need you, always there. To love you, always there. Thinking of you, always there. Always there, yeah, 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 yeah. Always there. Always there, yeah, 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 yeah. Always there, when I need you, always there. To love you, always there. Thinking of you, always there. Always there, yeah, 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 yeah. Always there, oh yeah. Always there, yeah, 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 yeah,
All right, way to go, beautiful.
Megan, Anthony, Alicia, Rebecca.
Way to go, guys,
Mike,
beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, wasn't that nice? And let's hear it for this band that does such a great job, man. Let's hear it for the band. Come on. Let's hear it for the band, too. They did a great job. Bobby, that was great. Okay, we have a lot of spiritual work to do. Do you agree? Yeah, I agree. Go off on vacation. I was really interested. I went off on vacation, and I made a point of not connecting to news or anything going on. And I came home, and I tried to make that last as long as possible, and it didn't last very long. So we have some spiritual work to do today. So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and I want you to exhale like you just cleaned out the garage. Yeah, like you just cleaned something out, you're all finished, the task is done. Take another deep breath in. So I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit different this morning. I'm going to ask you to surrender your judgment, your labels. I'm going to ask you to move into a place now where you just don't have an opinion about anything, which sometimes is hard to do, especially given what's going on in the world right now. But I think it's incumbent upon us to move to that place where there's no judgment, where we stand in spiritual truth, and we're going to talk about that a lot today. But surrender anything that needs to be surrendered, like surrendering a financial condition or a relationship that's not working, surrendering your judgment about other people, maybe surrender a health condition. Think about what it is that you want to surrender. Now, that doesn't mean that you're saying someone's right and someone's wrong. It just means that you're done carrying it. Take another deep breath in. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You. In Your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am power divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all. All to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. A wise man once said, I love you and I accept your love. It is in that love that I recognize that it is the source of all life. That love. I have a connection with that power. I am an expression of the one true love. And it is in that recognition that I state and claim my truth right here and right now. I accept what is. But I am not consumed by what I see. I simply observe the unfoldment of life. True life is based in love. And it is that undercurrent that I can truly see unfolding regardless of the situation. I am grounded in that truth. A birthing process is happening right here and right now. A new birth of consciousness. A new acceptance of brotherhood and oneness. So I allow these birthing pains to flow through me. I am not consumed. For I know the truth that on the other side is a oneness that this planet has never seen before. It is in that truth that I stake my claim. So I allow life to unfold, but I express my truth. Everyone I see is only a facet of myself. So I can only love everyone because I love myself. I love the one true spirit. I love the consciousness. I love the knowing. But there is responsibility in that knowing. And I accept it graciously and proudly. So from this day, I now speak my truth. No longer am I silent. Always with love and compassion, because that's the source of my life. And it is the source of all life, and I know that to be true. So I have such gratitude. It fills me up so fully. It overflows. I am passionate about life. I am so very thankful for this center, for this teaching. It has changed my life, only for the better. So I release my word to the law of mind right here, right now, knowing it is done so perfectly. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. And I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. Take a deep breath in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. The words are on the screen. Please join me in the next verse. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. Someone like you, someone like me, dreaming a dream of what would be. Do we believe? Oh, maybe we do. It all comes down to me and you.
No matter who we are, there's
Only one world, one love to share. See it in your eyes, see it everywhere. We're not alone, we all share a home in one world. We meet at last. Hello, my friend. The road was long to where we stand. Yet in my heart, I always knew someday the path I picked you. Where we are, there's only one world, one love to share. See it in your eyes, see it everywhere. We're not alone, we all share a home in one world.
share different worlds. We live separate
to share. I see it in your eyes, I see it everywhere. Not alone, we all share a home in one world. That's who we are. There's only one world, one love to share. I see it in your eyes, I see it everywhere. We're not alone, we all share a home in one world. Not alone, we all share a home in one world. We're not alone, we all share a home in one
Thank you,
Great
singers
work.
and singers.
Thank you, guys. So, interestingly enough, I wrote the PowerPoint for this talk before I went on vacation. So 2 weeks ago, I wrote this talk. What am I? Oh yeah, I don't want to introduce my friend. Sorry, I have a really special friend here. Not you, Bliss. You've always been special to me. He's one of my closest friends. You know that person in your life where you can go a few weeks, maybe even months and not talk, but when you do, you connect at that level again, that soul level. He's also one of my colleagues. He runs the Westlake Global Truth Center, right? Is it just Global Truth Center or Westlake Global Truth Center? Which one? Global Truth Center. Anyway, he's Reverend Dr. James Mellon, everybody. I want to welcome James Mellon. When I'm upset, I call him. He gets a lot of calls. Okay. So I was thinking about this this morning. I went in and got in the pool this morning, and I was kind of swimming around just kind of wake myself up. And I thought, since I started as the senior minister here, about 16, I don't know, 10, I don't know, a long time ago, it just seems like we're meandering through and working through so many different things, especially over the past 10 years, that have been spiritually uncomfortable for me, have been very challenging for me, because I stand in front of you and I try to lead spiritually, and yet in the back of my mind, sometimes I have thoughts that I really shouldn't share with you. Anybody have those thoughts that you shouldn't share with a microphone? So it's been a challenge, actually, to lead while things continue to happen in our culture. And so it's been a challenge for me, and now I'm going to challenge you. Because today it's a different day again. Once again, we wake up and it's Sunday morning and something has gone on in the world, in our country, that is very disconcerting, very upsetting. And so my talk today is called Accepting What Is. My quote today comes directly from our textbook, the Science of Mind textbook, from Dr. Ernest Holmes. And just a refresher, if you want to get the PowerPoints before you come in, they're in the foyer right here. We print them up every morning so that you have them. So this is it's more than an affirmation. It's just a whole sentence that I think you're going to find really interesting. So this applies to our life in every way, shape, or form. Together, please. Whatever appears in the universe to be wrong is not wrong in itself, but is the wrong arrangement of that which is right. Okay? Some things appear to be wrong, and they feel wrong. But it's going to end up right. We have to believe that. If not, we fall into alignment with anger and not compassion. And I fell into anger. When I saw headlines and things going on, I started to get my first response was, oh my God, what the heck? And I got upset. And I got angry. And then I realized that's not the spiritual solution. That's aligning myself with the anger that's bringing everything forward to begin with and not getting to the spiritual truth. So I have to remember, in order to be a good student of an enlightened mind, I have to get off that anger as quickly as possible and move it to a different place. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And again, keep in mind, I wrote this like 2 weeks ago. And I don't even read once I make my PowerPoint, I don't even look at it until the morning of. And then I read through it one time. I don't study it or anything like that. Everything just kind of flows through. So this was written 2 weeks ago, and I think it's amazing how it applies today. Here we go. Questions are this. Are we accepting what is our human experience or accepting what is the spiritual truth? When you look at any situation, are you accepting the human experience or do you see an underlying spiritual truth within it? Can you see that? Let's just make this assumption. Let's make an assumption that underlying every human experience is a vibration, a currency, something that's happening, that always is a spiritual truth making its way forward. Now, when you're in the middle of it, it doesn't feel like it at times, but can you acknowledge that underneath it, some good is going to come from this? The problem is sometimes we get so caught up in the human experience that we don't see the underlying good that's going to come from it. We align ourselves with it. So are you practicing compassion or alignment? So let's define those. Accepting what is the spiritual truth underlying any human condition or experience is the true reality. When I accept what is the truth that underlies all outer conditions, that's a capital R. That's spiritual reality. When we accept what is reality rather than the human condition, we can see it for what it is without fear of being stuck or trapped in it. So if I understood that underneath all things, there's this frequency, there's this vibration headed me to something greater, headed me to something even better in life. Now, whether it's a Charlottesville, Virginia, or whether it's my relationship, or whether it's a health condition, or whether it's my finances, it doesn't matter. If I could see an underlying, if I could accept and embody the idea that there's an underlying vibration heading me to the place where things are unfolding for my highest good, then I won't feel so stuck in the human condition in the moment. Does that make sense? Are you with me? Okay, good. Half everybody is. So it goes to the question, compassion or alignment? Compassion, there's a sympathy, concern for the sufferings of misfortunes of others. We exercise compassion. When we see something going on like in Charlottesville, did we get angry or did we immediately go to a place of compassion? I have to tell you, my first response was anger. I'm like, I got pissed off. Sorry to say that word. I've said much worse here just recently. Oh my God, James, I said a bad word one day. Just slipped out. It was awful. Anyway, I meant to call you and tell you that. We used to call each other on the way home from church. Anyway, the problem is I slipped into anger, which is alignment. I aligned myself with the anger. Alignment is a position of agreement or alliance with the sufferings or misfortunes of others. I was aligning myself with the misfortunes of others, and it made me angry. So I was aligning with the anger instead of expressing compassion, which, sympathy for the suffering, empathy. Does that make sense? So where do you go? When you look at your relationships or you look at your finances or you look at your medical condition or whatever that is, do you go into compassion and go, okay, you know what, I'm being compassionate with myself and compassionate with the other person? Or are you in alignment with a condition? The second you align yourself with a condition, you're going to own it. You might as well put your name above it with a little address saying, this is now mine. The second you align with that, you gain ownership of it, and because you shall have it, and you shall have it abundantly. So what would you rather have? An abundance of compassion, of love, of kindness, of empathy, or would you rather have a whole abundance of alignment with conditions? We have to be able to see the conditions as a result of something that's always been there. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about something that's always there. I know, I would probably, I don't want to say
bet my house on it, but I would probably bet a whole lot that most of you in this room, if not all of you, have some sort of judgment, criticism, or label for other people, cultures, religions, whatever it is. That somehow you have an ownership of that, and you don't want to talk about it because if I talk about it, then what will people think of me? But we all have them. I have them. And I have to really work on that because that acknowledgement just in my own life, with what little I think I have, I am part of the problem in Charlottesville. I have to look in the mirror and accept my responsibility for my labels, my judgments, my assumptions. Because if I have it with anyone, I have it with all things. You can't just pick and choose your alignment to humanity. You either align with it or you don't, and we align with that. So what happens to one, we say what happens to one happens to all. It's happening to all. Nothing ever happens just to me individually. It happens to us as a collective. What happened there is a symptom of something that's underneath here that all of us, if we were to take time to look in the mirror, we all have some of it. And that's why we get upset with it, because it also resonates with a part of us that we don't want to talk about. Does that make sense? We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. Because I don't think there's a lot of people who don't have that, who are just totally rid of all labels and judgments and preconceived ideas and all that misunderstanding stuff. I don't think there's anybody like that. So we have a lot of work to do. So we jump out of that alignment with that stuff and jump into a more sense of compassion, caring, and love. Does that make sense? Together, please. Whatever appears in the universe to be wrong is not wrong in itself, but is the wrong arrangement of that which is right. We can have no understanding of divine compassion unless we ourselves first exercise compassion. So the first thing I have to acknowledge is this. I, Joe Hooper, am flawed. I know. It's your fault, Mom. I am flawed. I have to exercise compassion with myself and realize my humanity, but I can't get so absorbed in the esoteric, exercise my right to be a human and stuff and spiritual. I can't get so absorbed with that I lose the truth that I need to acknowledge in front of a mirror. That I too have these things. That there isn't a person in this room who doesn't have those things. So I have to be compassionate with myself and understand without going into a place of self-hatred or judgment for myself. I need to cure myself of that, which means this. I have to become more and more aware each and every day when those ideas come into my mind. I have to become an awakened individual and go, holy cow, Joe, this is who you are. Stop that. You are part of that problem. There has to be a point in your mind, in the enlightened mind, where you're having that internal dialogue where you can say to yourself, oh, wow, I am part of this problem. Every one of us. Every judgment by which we judge others becomes a self-judgment. It's as if the law of life were giving back to one of us exactly what we have projected into it, as though everything that goes out from us must again return by a law of action and reaction. So the second we start judging other people, the second we stand in judgment, the second we start becoming that experience, by the law of action and reaction, it's going to come right back to us. Who here wants to be judged? Scored, maybe, not judged, right? So just remember, whenever we're doing that, we are Charlottesville. That sounds heavy. That hurts. That hurts. But I think we have to look at it. Being a minister right now is hard work because in your head, I dance around in my head with all these things. And I say stuff that I normally wouldn't say, and that's part of my problem. Because you know what part of our problem is? We sit in places where people are having conversations that affect this kind of stuff, and we don't speak up on spiritual truth. We remain silent. And silence in those situations reflects concurrence. It really does. And so when am I going to be strong enough in situations like that to go, stop, enough. That's not what I am. That's not who I am. That's not who you are. And realize that the very people we're talking about ourselves because we're all connected to it. How can we distance ourselves from humanity when we're part of it? Who here doesn't have a flaw? Outside of James. Who here doesn't have one? How about if I find that flaw and I just gnaw at it for a little bit for you and criticize it and make you feel bad about it and make it just expand? How would that feel? Terrible. No one wants to do that. So we have a responsibility not to align with that kind of stuff, rather to move into a place where we can have the conversations about what is the spiritual truth. When our lives are chaotic, it's nonsense to say that it's all an illusion. And right now, things do feel a little chaotic to me. I got off a vacation where I didn't have contact with the outside world. I come in, and it just felt like that this energy is chaotic. And then there are people who are going to go, well, it's just an illusion. And it's just an illusion. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's real. Small r, not the capital R. Not the God reality. It's a small people. It's created from a small consciousness, not a consciousness of expansion. It's not created from a consciousness of building a world that works for everyone. It's created from a smaller consciousness, smaller awareness. Instead of fighting conditions, try going along with the universe and refuse to admit that there isn't any problem that does not have a solution. How many times did you say recently, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, I have news for you. You and I are just going to be the conduits in which spirit expresses itself. So we better clean up our own house before we go in to clean others. Does this make sense? And so I think anyone here feel like I should ask that. Don't feel like you need to clean? I think we all have to clean our house because there isn't a problem out there that doesn't have a solution. Because remember, under every single problem, every condition out there in the world is that vibration of good making itself known so that something higher and greater is expressed. It may be painful, but who hasn't passed a kidney stone or given birth and know that you finally get through it? You don't have to stay stuck in it. One of my favorite Dr. Thomisms. Yea, though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, don't build a condo, keep moving. And I don't want to take up residency in this alignment. And I don't want us to take part in that, which means we have to be willing to state our spiritual truth and be solid in it. And remember, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That which we resist persists. Resistance makes us harder, sharper, and more rigid. Harder, sharper, and more rigid. Anybody here want to be harder and more callous? That resistance don't align yourself with the resistance. Now, I'm going to get crap for that because there are a lot of people that say resist. No, there are ways that we can actually express ourselves without aligning ourselves with the energy that's creating it. There is a spiritual truth that can unfold and transcend a condition, but we have to come from truth, not fighting. Not the battle. The battles, we can't be engaged in the battle because that's the problem. We can't resist and say something greater is going to come from that. No, accepting and moving, those are words that move us to a greater expression. Now, that doesn't mean someone's right and someone's wrong. No, it just means there's a spiritual truth that has to unfold in this. I have to see it. I have to maintain it. I have to make sure it's really clear. I have to be able to articulate it. I have to be able to embody it in my own experience. And that way, when anything doesn't resemble it, I still know that a spiritual truth is unfolding. Something greater than this, greater than me, is unfolding this thing right before me. Accepting what is moves us through resistance into a new place. When I accept what is, it's going to move me to a new place. Yes, it happened. It wasn't an illusion. And it happened because there is a small expression making itself known, and without judgment, without criticism, without opinion, we have to say, wait a minute, what needs to be expressed now? What have I always said? That after everything that ever happens, something happens in the world, 9/11, an incident happens. It's not so much the incident as it is the cause of the incident. Can we see a spiritual truth in it? And now how do we respond to it? And are you responding with alignment or are you responding with compassion? Which one is it? Bless you. Together, please. Whatever happens in the universe to be wrong, wait a minute. Whatever appears in the universe to be wrong is not wrong in itself, but is the wrong arrangement of that which is right. Freud wrote this, and this is a really complicated thing of saying this. It is hard for the ego to direct its attention to perceptions and ideas which it has up till now made a rule of avoiding, or to acknowledge as belonging to itself impulses that are complete opposite of those which it knows as its own. Anybody? That's just Freudian for saying sometimes when you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see and you don't do anything about it, you just move away from the mirror, that's not going to fix anything. That's what Freud is saying there. He's saying when you see it as your own, and you walk away from it, expect it to come back. That's what I say. And expect it to come back with so much energy that until it finally, I have always found that when I resist things, it starts off with a little knock on the head. Anybody get that little knock? Yeah? And then it's kind of a push on the shoulder, right? Yeah, it pushes me a little bit. And then next thing you know, I feel like I'm getting hit by a 2x4 because I kept resisting. And now until I hit a wall. I have to start listening to these. Ouch. I have to start listening to those first so they don't grow into the wall. So they don't grow in. We have to start listening to these before they grow into a Charlottesville. As painful as it is, we have to start listening to that. So we can do whatever we can do to bring a spiritual truth to a situation instead of aligning ourselves with the anger and feeding that. Does that make sense to you? So often we want to apply our understanding of law. You create your own reality onto others. Yet this can be a challenge and brutal response to someone in the midst of serious issues. It completely changes our responses when we remember that just like us, others forget or simply never knew who they really are. Who here likes to be set to, when you're in a chaotic situation, or you're in a really hard position, who here wants to hear someone else go, oh, it's just all God? No, I'm in pain. It doesn't feel like it's all God. Don't tell me it's all going to be, that Spirit's working out. No. You need to sit with me for a minute before you tell me that. Because no one wants to hear that kind of, anybody? Anybody want to hear that? They all go, here, go ahead. Just throw a little spiritual pontification on me, right? Throw a little spiritual action. Just toss one in, thinking that somehow that's going to shift my consciousness in that moment. Now, you know what? Consciousness shifts, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time. So it's okay to sit in that place for a moment. Like I sat in my anger for a moment, and then I knew that's not going to help. So I had to switch that off and then remember who I am, whose I am, and remember that everyone involved comes from the same thing too. That's where the judgment comes in. That's where the judgment comes in. Do you see where our work lies? Just that uncomfortable feeling right down, where I said, they're part of God too. And you're like, but and if I believed in Satan, or the devil, some of the rhetoric that's been spewed out would have actually come from Satan or the devil, but that's not the truth. They're just God beings too. And they're waking all of us up. to what we have to do next. I believe that. If I didn't believe that, I'm in the wrong business. If I didn't believe that, I have to believe that something is unfolding that's much greater than we can possibly fathom at this point in my own human brain. That Armageddon is not going to be the end of the world, it's going to be an end of a consciousness that created a world like that. But that a new awakening is happening. I believe that what people need from us is love, compassion, kindness, and caring. When we practice those attributes, we can safely create a space so that we don't have to stay stuck in any experience, and that it shall pass, it too shall pass as we create a new tomorrow. Loving, compassion, and kindness. Let's exercise that more today I want you to do more today than you did yesterday, and more tomorrow than you did today. What if everyone committed to, in that place of judgment, when you sat there and people were talking about things that you didn't join in, not that you didn't join in, but you actually stood in a spiritual truth and said it out loud? It's going to freak some people out. But I don't think we have a choice. Silence is concurrence, and sometimes we just can't concur with that anymore. I think sometimes we have to speak our truth and be confident and be loving and compassionate, not be combative. Don't be confrontational about it, but just stand in your truth. And if we do that, then we're not going to be stuck in this situation. Our tomorrow will change. But our tomorrow is not going to change until we look in the mirror, admit what work we have to do, that I have to do, you have to do, we have to do. We have to look in the mirror first today and go, I have to work on this in my life. In order for me to affect bigger change in the bigger picture, the first thing, it has to come from right here, come from the source. That means come through me. Then, and only then, can I start going out and speaking those words, because I've authentically transcended the idea of that in my own head. And I've come to a place of compassion and love and caring. Then, and only then, can I authentically go out and speak that truth. And I can sit in it in a conversation with other people. That's going to make a difference. That's when we make a difference. And right now, as a spiritual community, I want us to make that difference. It's a call to all of you. The opening song was Always There. They sang Always There. God is always there. We believe that, right? Yes. We believe that God can't, there's no situation in which God can be absent. Do you agree to that? Because it's all God unfolding, right? Okay, and then they sang One World. Always There in One World. Two really good songs that would affect change if we listen to them and abide by them. Last time. Whatever appears in the universe to be wrong is not wrong in itself, but is the wrong arrangement of that which is right. And so ends your lesson. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. I was sure happy he was doing the talk this week. All right. So those of you that are live streaming, thank you. You guys have been really great about supporting the center. So please make your donation. And then I invite the ushers to come forward. And so this is a time when we open up our hearts and we recognize that by our supporting this center, we are changing the world. We keep this place open so that we can hear these inspirational messages that awaken within us the truth of who we are. So please, let's just say together our offertory prayer. I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
Only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. In my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
All right. So let's just hold up our hands. Let's send our love and our light to bless this offering as we say our prayer. This collective offering is spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you. All right. So I'd like to welcome our visitors. If you're here for the first time, please don't be bashful. Please stand up. We have a gift and we'd love to welcome you. Anybody here for the first time? Come on. Oh, welcome. Welcome. And back there, back here. So what we've given you is a CD holder with information about our center and who we are. Please stop by the table here at the foyer and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. If you're from the Valley, I hope you come back and make this your spiritual home. If you're visiting, enjoy yourself. It may be a little hot, but it's still paradise to us. So over in the Ohm room, we have our 1-minute miracles, which this is our great prayer team that's over there. So please, we have miracles happen every day. So that's why we call it 1-minute miracles. So go over there, go meet with a practitioner, and don't go through something all by yourself. And this is a list of what's going on this week that you can pick up. My book study, Do You Quantum Think, is continuing, and it also, too, each week stands on its own. So even if you haven't come, are you trying to get me off?
No.
Our Alzheimer's support group, Dale's Sacred Servant, Heartlight, the AA meetings going on. Kathy Duguid, is your class not this Friday? I guess you're off this Friday, huh? And don't forget, Reverend Irma has her meditation practices on Saturday, which is a fabulous way. If you want to learn about meditation or really go deeper in it, every week she has a fantastic meditation, and she explains the different practices, and there she is. She's fabulous. So please join her for that. There's something here almost every day except Monday we take off. It's a holy day. No, it's just not right now during the summer. So let's just do a closing prayer. So let's breathe in, recognizing that divine love, that one power, that divine presence that is that compassion, and it's in each and every one of us. So this week we recognize that where we have our spiritual work to do. When things come up, we bless it and we recognize it. And we just let it go. And we see that oneness. We recognize that we are all part of this one globe. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all that one breath, that one heartbeat, that one spirit. There is no separation. There is no you and me. There is just the we, the us, the one. And so I'm so grateful for this opportunity this week to practice that compassion, to see the oneness of everyone. And I'm so grateful for this center and our music and our practitioners and our ministers and our ushers and our congregation that shows up in such a wonderful, magnificent way, and how they take their light into the world and that they are changing the world by who they are. And so I just let this go, knowing that this is the truth, knowing that it is all wonderful, it is all unfolding perfectly. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone.